Star Wars. Everybody loves Star Wars. You got the Jedis with their cool laser swords, you got Darth Vader and the Death Star, you got the Chewbacca's, they're kinda cute. One of them died that one time, it made me kinda sad. But that's all besides the point. Nobody will tell you that these guys were the coolest part of the series. The thing that people actually care about is this. Dudes doing acrobatics with glow sticks is one of the most universally enjoyed forms of media that humans have been able to create. I'd venture to say that the majority of the US population has picked up a stick and pretended it was a lightsaber at least once in their lifetime. They rank among the most iconic weapons in cinema history, when this represented the pinnacle of special effects technology. Now, one guy wasting goons with a lightsaber is cool and all, sure, but things really get interesting when people fight each other with them. Lightsaber duels tend to be fast-paced and flashy, where the combatants make such quick and fluid motions that an ordinary person wouldn't be able to keep up. This experience is what the game Star Wars Lightsaber Battles 2 tries to capture. Does it succeed? Well, we'll get to that. The game is split into 3 factions, Jedi, Sith, and Neutral. The only reason you'd use the first 2 is if you wanted to roleplay, so 90% of the people you'll see are neutral. The object of the game, as one might guess, is to have lightsaber duels with other players. These duels operate on a For Honor-esque system, where you can attack and guard in basically 3 areas, left, right, and overhead. If you attack an area that's guarded by an opponent, you'll get blocked. If you swing at an area that isn't guarded, you'll damage the enemy. It's not rocket science, or at least it doesn't start out that way. In addition to basic swings, there are some advanced moves you can perform. You can feint by left-clicking and immediately canceling with right-click, which could end up baiting your enemy to move their guard or swing at you. You can also parry attacks by left-clicking a red area as soon as the enemy attacks, which stuns them and drains their stamina. The fun doesn't end there, though. Players can choose from 5 different forms of lightsaber combat, each with its own strengths and weaknesses that I'm not getting into because this is definitely a review and not a tutorial. But wait, there's more. Are you tired of losing to players who are more skilled than you? Do you want to get easy XP without the hassle of having to best someone in combat? Look no further than the Living Force. The higher level a player is, the more OP their force powers get. These can range from a simple push or pull to literally freezing an opponent in time and rendering them completely helpless. With great power comes great responsibility, and there are a few unspoken rules in this game. Never attack a player who hasn't agreed to a duel. Never run from a duel. Never use force powers in a duel. If you violate any of these rules or do something generally scummy, the rest of the server is not only able, but obligated to make your life a living hell for the rest of your stay. Now that's not to say that scumbags are hard to find here, quite the opposite. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. 9 times out of 10, your opponent will try to run away as soon as they sense that they're about to lose a duel. They'll always do it the exact same way too, they'll just force jump way into the air and buy themselves a couple more seconds, but you can always just force pull them when they get back down to the ground. There's also no shortage of high-level players who get drunk on their own power and just freeze everybody so they can kill them without having to deal with the whole fighting back thing. You can pick from like 10 different lightsaber colors, but I always go with yellow because it's the coolest, and that's a fact. Naturally, the game is set on a desert planet, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any cool locations to explore. You've got the hut area, and no, I don't mean the slug kind, I mean the African kind. There's a dark cave that doesn't really lead to anything, but it's cool to use your lightsaber to illuminate the area. The final tourist attraction comes in the form of a long platform that hangs off of a cliff. This area only serves to add dramatic tension to battles, and as a launching point where you can throw unsuspecting players off the edge. Apparently the game has actual tournaments where players who know what they're doing can use all their high-level techniques on each other. I know that Token Irishman Dampug has participated in at least one of these, and he's pretty beastly. In the end, is the fighting system perfect? No. Are the force powers totally broken? Yes. Does that mean that this game is terrible? Of course not. Some people might think that doing the same thing over and over would get boring after a while, but I disagree in this case. No 2 duels are the same, and every once in a while you might come across a new technique or strategy that can give you the edge. So here's my final judgment on this game. It looks pretty, handles alright, and it has no peer in its class. I rate Star Wars Lightsaber Battles 2 a 7 out of 10.